Hello, it's Mrs. Glasson. Today I wanted to address that Facebook post, the one about GL and CEM. Now this question that I have been asked and which I see debated on some 11 plus groups does puzzle me, and it also perplexes me. I think of all the misconceptions about how my subject should be taught, this is the one that I find most bewildering. I'll tell you why. It's because I've been teaching English for 30 years. I get fantastic results at GCSE and A-level. I've also been teaching the 11 plus for 2 years, and I've had fantastic results. In fact, as some of you know, this year my 11 plus students have gained access to 8 different areas, ranging from Wolverhampton to Surrey, Berkshire, Essex. You can look on my video and you can see how many different areas. I've lost count. But not once did I think about whether they are studying GL or CEM, because I'm an English teacher and I know what the 11 plus is based on. It's not on GL or CEM, it's based on teaching English. So teaching English skills and teaching them well, the way that English teachers teach English. So here we are, just to clarify, this is what I mean. And now I'm going to tell you why I find it very puzzling and why GL or CEM are not acronyms that I use when I'm teaching my subject. So what's the 11 plus based on? Well, your children who are sitting the 11 plus are at Key Stage 2. So therefore they're being tested on Key Stage 2 skills. Now, it's not the parents' fault. Obviously parents don't know, so they need professionals to tell them. But when you hear some of the questions, and if you go on some of the 11 plus sites, you would think that the 11 plus has fallen out of the sky and is made up by aliens. But no, rest assured, the 11 plus hasn't fallen out of the sky. The 11 plus is based on this document here, and it's usually constructed by English teachers and maths teachers, of course, but I'm just thinking about English, as I usually do, because I'm an English teacher. And they construct the 11 plus to test your children on skills that they already have. They don't make up a whole load of things that your children aren't going to know. Because if you do that, then people aren't going to pass the test, and then grammar schools will be empty. So it's a selective exam. We're looking for the best, the most able certainly, but we construct these exams as teachers so that children can pass those exams. And so we, at the end of Key Stage 4, which is GCSE, we write exams, or children are tested on Key Stage 4 skills in English. That's in year 11. When we do Key Stage 3 exams, we test them on skills that we've taught them, that they should know at Key Stage 3. So similarly, for the 11 plus, we test them on Key Stage 2 skills. Let me show you. So you don't need CEM or GL. What you need is this, okay? It's the national curriculum. And it outlines what should be taught at Key Stage 2, so therefore what we can test your children on in the 11 plus at Key Stage 2. So no GL or CEM. Okay, so students should learn to use sentences with different forms: statement, question, exclamation and command. That's actually in my 11 plus foundation course. I believe it's in lesson 8. Or it might come earlier than that. So different sentence forms. They also need to know expanded noun phrases. They need to know about nouns. They need to be able to specify them. They need to be able to use tenses correctly. So that is obviously what should be taught. And if you think about my 11 plus foundation course, I know some of you are doing that. That is exactly what's taught during the course of those 10 lessons, and obviously beyond, because when I teach English, I teach all of these things all together the way that it should be taught. Okay, so another page. Pupils should be taught to develop their understanding of the concepts set out in English Appendix 2. Yes, I know what that is. They should have be taught a range of sentences. So that's in Lesson 3. I've just been talking to one of my new students, and she said that she learned all about the different sentence forms in Lesson 3. They should be able to choose nouns or pronouns. So if you've done the free introductory lesson, you will see that that is introduced in the first lesson. Using commas after fronted adverbials, again, that's in Lesson 3, I think, when I do the different sentence forms. Indicating possession by the possessive apostrophe, I mentioned that. This whole idea of plural nouns, punctuating speech as well. So basically, it's all there. Okay, this is what you need to be teaching, because some people seem to get very confused about that. And this is what your children are being assessed on. So it's not something that's fallen out of the sky that people have made up to perniciously, make your children trip up. It's just assessment. It's assessment of Key Stage 2 skills, which is what they should be learning. However, I do think it's not the parents' fault. You're not subject specialists. Sometimes this confusion is often exacerbated by the responses made by other tutors. I don't often like to read these things because I do get quite upset about the misinformation that's given to parents about my subject. But recently on one of these groups, I was reading that somebody said, I've been asked to tutor a student for this school. And actually, this school's in North London, and my students have actually got into that school in the past. But I don't know how to start tutoring this person, because I don't know if it's GL or CEM. So again, you can imagine how that makes me feel. You do wonder, what is it that you're teaching? You're supposed to be teaching English. And the misinformation is far worse when it comes to creative writing. But that is perhaps the subject of another video. So parents, this is what your children are being tested on. So when you get grammar schools, very wonderful grammar schools, on their website saying that their 11 plus tests the skills found at Key Stage 2, they're not lying. That is what we test your children on in the 11 plus, because they're at Key Stage 2. So you need to find an English teacher that teaches them English, not GL or CM. And I understand they have to be able to answer a range of different questions. But if you've been taught well, then you can answer a range of different questions because you have the skills. So English is about teaching skills. It's not about teaching questions. If all we needed were questions, if all you needed were tasks and tests, then, for example, at GCSE, they publish past papers, they publish questions, they publish mark schemes. Then if that's all that was needed, then everyone would just pass the test and English teachers could go home. But it's not like that. It's not to do with the questions. It's to do with teaching skills. Speaking of which, if you would like your child to be taught the 11 plus Key Stage 2 skills, then please do try out my 2 free lessons and enroll in the 11 plus foundation course. Starting from the beginning to the end of those 10 introductory lessons, your child will be taught English. And one analogy that I use with regards to being able to answer any question if you've been taught English properly is learning to drive. So, for example, my son learnt to drive in a Mini. But he can drive my Nissan, which is just parked out there. He has driven across America in a different car. He has driven his friends' cars. You get the idea. He can drive because he's been taught the skills. He's been taught how to drive. So it doesn't really matter the make of car. So again, with GL and CM, it doesn't matter. Just learn English, just teach English. So I hope to see you then on my course when I'll be teaching your child English. And I'm very much looking forward to doing that because English is wonderful. It's all set out there and I know exactly what's in there because I've been doing it for a long time. And I actually really enjoy teaching this stuff and I know exactly how to do it. So hope to see you soon. I look forward to welcoming your children on the 11 Plus Foundation course. Click on the link below and you can then try out the 2 free lessons. And it's not CEM, it's not GL, it's not rocket science, it's English. Thank you.